Chelsea won, Real Madrid won in the Champions League semi-finals, first leg. Josh, if we'd said this before the game, you'd have been happy, wouldn't you? We've got an away goal. What did you make of that tonight?
It was tense, wasn't it? I mean, it was a good game, interesting. But yeah, no, I think it's all about the result tonight for me. You know, with it being the away leg, got the away goal, uh, and yeah, you say it's advantage Chelsea. I don't want to get too carried away, but I would say advantage Chelsea.
Yeah, the result is brilliant, but I want to talk about the performance because that was equally as impressive. I've heard a lot of people say, oh, look, Chelsea have had an easy route to the semi-final. They shouldn't be there. Bear in mind, we've knocked out Atletico Madrid, which people forget, Porto, and we were the better side tonight. You know, anyone who watched that game will see, particularly in the first half, we were straight out of the blocks, weren't we? We were at them and sort of trademark that under Tuchel now. We're aggressive, high intensity. We started really well, didn't we?
No, we started brilliantly. I mean, I couldn't agree more. Yeah, we were so aggressive from the start. I mean, in reality, we should have been 2-0 up within the first 15 minutes, shouldn't we? Obviously, Timo Werner had a chance. Unfortunately, put it straight at Courtois. I mean, good save, but you know, as you did say yourself earlier, yeah, it was straight at him. So that was disappointing. I will say, you know, not to be too negative on Timo, I do think he did a job tonight. You know, his runs caused issues, and you know, we know he's got that, but he's just got to get that clinical edge, hasn't he? So
Yeah, I mean, this is a positive video. I'm really happy, but you know, the tie's not over. It's 1-1. It's going to be one of those. You're going to look back at that moment and go, I honestly don't know how many more chances you're going to give him because he scored, didn't he, the weekend? But he also missed a big chance in that game. Tonight he's missed that. It's just not acceptable. I'm sorry to miss from there. I love his, you know, his energy, and he came off after an hour or so. And I've just heard the Tuchel interview, and he said he was one of the players that looked tired. So, you know, he worked hard, but you can't miss those chances. And it's just obvious, isn't it, that we need a striker. But let's talk about the positives because there were so many tonight. Do you want to talk about the goal, Christian Pulisic? Talk to me about the goal, but overall as well, how good he was.
no, he was brilliant, wasn't he? I mean, he's just hit form. I mean, a few weeks ago we did a video highlighting him, and we did say about sort of what this lad can do when he's on form, and he's really showing it now, isn't he? You know, his pace, just everything about him. He's scoring goals. A lot of what we're doing that's good is certainly involving him, but you know, arguably centred around him and obviously Mount. So, I mean, the goal itself tonight, obviously, he took it round Courtois, didn't he? I think Courtois did just about get a hand to it, but took it round Courtois and just smashed it into the net between the defenders. Great goal. And it showed the composure as well, which is, again, something that we had sort of said a few weeks ago. He was sort of lacking at times, and he's showing it. His form's absolutely brilliant at the minute. He just looks deadly, doesn't he? I mean, if you compare him to the player that, go back, 5-6 weeks, it is a different player. I mean, I couldn't speak highly enough of him. I mean, I think you've got to give Kante man of the match tonight. He was absolutely fantastic. But Pulisic, right up there, really, really special player.
Yeah, we'll talk about Kante in a sec. In terms of Pulisic, like you say, the goal, it's actually Rudiger with a brilliant ball over the top. He played excellent as well. He's brought it down. But like you say, he took it around the goalkeeper, but he took about 7-8 touches there. It's close control, and he was in, you know, it was in like slow motion. He could see what he was going to do. He had a tunnel vision, and a lot of players don't have that composure. He was superb. And I think what you're saying there is sort of really similar to last year in terms of there were parts of the season where it looked like he had, you know, he looked like a top player, but he wasn't getting any consistent form. And we know how good he was at the back end of last year. He's coming into that form again now at the right end of the season. And when he's in that kind of form, he belongs at the top level. Some people are saying, you know, going into this game, who's going to be our big match winner? Well, he's come up with the away goal, and that's put us in a great position. You mentioned Kante. Let's talk about him because I'm not sure how many there were on the team sheet because I definitely saw more than one Kante out there. It's like a common joke, isn't it, that there's it's like two of them. But what, you know, really highlights it for me, there was a moment in the second half where he's genuinely took it around three players, gone for the cross, it's come out, not paid off. And who's the first man to then get on the ball again from the clearance? It's Kante. He was just brilliant, wasn't he?
No, just brilliant. It's just, I mean, you've run out of ways to actually sort of compliment him. He just does it so consistently, week in, week out. Like you say, it is a bit of a running joke, but it was like there was two of him out there again. He's just brilliant for me. Like, I can't even describe how good he is. He's so crucial to what we do, and he just he just anchors the team brilliantly. Incredible performance off him tonight.
Yeah, and I think we mentioned, didn't we? If we're going to do anything at this level, I have a bit of confidence. If Kante is playing at that, we can compete with anyone. There's a lot of talk in the build-up about the midfield battle, but it was us who won it tonight. And I mean, Real Madrid tinkered their formation, which I think showed a bit of respect to us. We play that formation week in, week out, and they're brilliant in the midfield. Jorginho as well.
No, definitely. I mean, that's the other thing, isn't it? We're talking about how good Kante was, but you're forgetting that, he's up against Modric and Kroos. Modric won a Ballon d'Or, recently. They're two of the best midfielders in Europe for the last decade or so.
Casemiro,
exactly, yeah. It's just, they're playing against genuine world-class players and opposition, and he just makes it look easy at times. Like you said, if we're going to do anything at a top level, he's going to be crucial to it, and he is being. Like you said, we won the midfield battle. And, the overall game, I'd say, I would agree with you. We had the better of it, really.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just fantastic. I mean, I'm less nervous, more excited now about the second leg. Obviously, we were both saying how nervous we were earlier. But no, I'm quite excited now about it.
I mean, that first 45 minutes, I've not been that nervous over a game for so long. Mrs. went in the other room, like she literally couldn't watch it with me. I sort of missed that feeling, but it was too much that first half. It was so action-packed. It sort of petered out a bit in the second half. Still a really good game, but I think the players sort of got a bit tired. Let's talk about Mason Mount again. But, how good is he? Because flashes of brilliance in terms of, edge of the box, little touches. And if I ask you about this in particular, he's added to his game, hasn't he? His dribbling. Do you notice that? Because his touches and dribbling, he did it again, didn't he, tonight?
Yeah, no, again, since we've sort of started this channel, we sort of have to do is talk about how good Mason Mount is, but he really is showing it. Like you said, the flashes of brilliance. And again, I would just want to say, for a young player at that sort of 22, to be doing it against Real Madrid, I know it's not sort of, it's not at the Bernabeu in front of 100,000 people, but still, Real Madrid in this Champions League semi-final, you go through their team sheet, and to perform how he performed, produce the little moments that he produces, it's unbelievable. And you look to the future, you think, where's this guy going to be in sort of 2 or 3 years? I mean, I've always been a fan of him. I mean, even when he was on loan at Derby, but this season in particular for me, how quickly he's developed, it's really is special. And the sky's the limit for him. I really believe that. Because, the couple of little weaknesses in his game, as you said, perhaps the dribbling, a first touch, also his finishing. Every video we do, every game we watch, he's getting better and better, and he's doing a bit more and a bit more. And what I also like is that he seems so comfortable with it as well. Sometimes, younger players, they're good, but sometimes an occasion can get the better of him. You don't get that vibe with him at all, do you? He just rises to it, and it's exciting. It really is.
I think you're spot on, to be honest. And on top of the quality, he's got the energy, he's got the work rate, he's got everything you want in a player. I love that he was questioned early doors by Tuchel, which now looks a masterstroke because he's getting better every week, like you say. And I'd be really interested to see. It's quite sad that I do this, but I quite often go on Twitter and I'll type the player's name in, and you can do it by language, so you can see effectively what the Spanish people are saying about any player. So I really want to see what they're saying about Mount, because obviously we know about him in England, but a performance like that and what he's doing in the Champions League is really going to sort of mark his name in European football. And if he keeps going, he deserves to be talked about in that, top bracket. So yeah, sky's the limit. I feel like we're going on for a while. We can't have this video all night. Let's quickly wrap it up with, we've not really talked about we've got to talk about the equalising goal, sorry. Karim Benzema. 1-1 it didn't do it justice. I think we deserved to win the game, but Benzema, it was a brilliant goal, wasn't it?
It was. Yeah,
we switch off, didn't we, a bit from the corner? But talk to me about that volley. He's the one player tonight I was scared of, and I am scared of going to that second leg.
No, definitely, I couldn't agree more. There's been quite a lot made of in the media about how he stepped up for Real Madrid since obviously Ronaldo left. And again, like you said, we'd spoken about him being the possible danger man, and he was, wasn't he? I don't want to dwell on it because I do feel like before the game we'd have absolutely took 1-1, with us getting the away goal. So no, it's still advantage Chelsea. Let's finish it positively. We'll go back and we'll take them at the bridge.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, the defence, aside from that goal, played really well. Silva, Rudiger, Christensen, quality, Chilwell. Aspi, I was quite surprised Reece James didn't start, and Aspi came off anyway on the hour mark. What did you make of that decision that Reece didn't start?
No, I was quite surprised. I thought we could have used his sort of energy and sort of strength, to be fair. But at the same time, I mean, I know you had a post on Twitter, didn't you? And I think the general vibe was that we sort of needed experience, so Aspi needed to be there. And I think the thing is now, Thiago Silva was always going to start. This is the sort of game that we signed him for in reality. And then, you look at how good Rudiger and Christensen have been recently. It's hard to drop anyone, isn't it? And that's the bit that, as annoying as it is, and when I saw the team sheet, I did raise an eyebrow at James not being in. But when you look at this run that we've been on since Tuchel came in, everyone's making a case for their position, aren't they? So it is hard to drop anybody. I think the toughest thing now, I mean, obviously, as you said yourself, Tuchel mentioned about players looking a little bit tired. That's going to be the challenge now. We've got the FA Cup final to look forward to, second leg of the Champions League. But even in the league, every game is a cup final. So it's going to be a really tough thing. While we've got options, it'll be tough to balance minutes versus rest for certain players. I mean, Mason Mount, he's been relentless this season, hasn't he? So all these players will have to have a little bit of a rest. It'll be interesting to see how he balances that, to be honest, going into the weekend.
Yeah, we've got Fulham at the weekend. I expect a few changes, but we've got an embarrassment of riches, haven't we? Because if you consider Havertz and Ziyech came on, quite lively cameos, might I add. James, you can mix around the strikers. I'm not sure if Kovacic is going to be back. I think they said he might for the second leg, so maybe quite a lot of work on Kante and Jorginho. But yeah, we've got the squad. I expect changes for the league game against Fulham, and then the second leg. So overall, it's 1-1. Let's be happy because, like you say, we should, that's advantage to us, isn't it? And we would have taken that. Having watched that game, I'll give you the final word here. Are you confident next week that we can finish the job? Because Real Madrid, you'd think, are going to play better than that.
Yeah, they'll step up to the occasion. In the last few years in the Champions League, they've been incredible. But no, before the game, I'd have took 1-1. Having watched the game, possibly feel a little hard done to. I feel like we did edge it. But no, positive. I'm confident I think it'll be 2-1 Chelsea at the Bridge. So obviously, we'll win it.
Yeah, well, I'm going to, we better win it basically now. I'm just so nervous and that game is just bringing back memories, and I just want the fans, I just want to be back in the Bridge now because they're the nights, aren't they? Something special about a Champions League night, and that sort of summed it up for me, even though I was watching it at home. So we'll wrap it up there. Thanks for all the support on the channel. Like and subscribe if you're new. Follow us on our social medias as well. We've got Twitter at Chelsea_debate and Instagram, _Chelsea_debate. But we'll speak to you guys soon. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.